The Latin Media and Entertainment Commission was created to make New York City the Latin media capital, developing a plan to recruit and expand media and entertainment businesses, productions, and jobs throughout the city. Not only do they want to expand Latin media productions, they aim to attract high-profile productions, and next week, beginning October 3rd, they're hosting the second annual Latin Media and Entertainment Week, featuring a host of events and thousands of attendees. Commissioner Carlos Manzano is here, and he talks more about the commission. And welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here.
Good to have you. So it's got to be an exciting time for you too.
Absolutely. This is the greatest city in the world, and we're going to make this city the capital of Latin media and entertainment. Our mission is to make, as you stated, New York City the main capital and central source for Latin media and entertainment, with two goals in mind. One is around economic development, attracting companies to New York, retention and creating jobs. And number two, to attract big events and also to create events. The Latin Media and Entertainment Week being a great example of what we are doing in the commission.
How do we get out there to the place where you're making those connections to really draw to do this? Because tall order. And obviously, I know you've got some goals and objectives in trying to make that happen.
Absolutely. We have already achieved a number of goals. For example, Univision used to be in Los Angeles, executive offices. About 2.5, 3 years ago, they moved to New York. So that brought a lot of jobs to New York, incredible tax base, and of course, tax revenue for the city. And we're going to be aiming to target specific networks and media production companies along the way. It's a process that we're going through to achieve that now, but we're working very closely with the industry so that we understand what's happening in the industry, what changes are taking place in the industry. As we all know, media changes every other day with technologies and everything. But we're very proud to say that we have the two largest Hispanic TV networks here in New York City. We have the number 2 magazines in the country, People en Español magazine and Latino magazine here in New York City. We have about 3 radio stations which are in the top 6 here in New York City. So there's a concentration, and when you begin to build a concentration of media and entertainment, other companies are going to say, I have to be where the action is, and the action is New York City. Also, New York City has, by revenues, the top 15 Hispanic ad agencies right here. So in other words, the transactions are taking place here because this is a business city. This is the financial capital. This is the media capital. This is the cultural capital. In addition, we now support 23 annual events that have been taking place in New York, and what we have done is boost them, give them a marketing boost so that we can attract more people. Over 300,000 people are participating at these events, and I have to say that about 30% of the audiences are non-Latinos, which for us is wonderful because what it shows is that Latin culture is not just defining a niche, but rather appeals. Art appeals to everyone. Music appeals to everyone. Film appeals to everyone. So we are engaging many, many more audiences.
So when you talk about the engagement of audiences, obviously you're looking to get that greater, that greater audience to really buy in. What has been the buy-in so far when it comes to spreading the word and getting the message out? Are you finding that you're reaching more?
Absolutely. We have really extended our reach, and this year our Latin Media and Entertainment Week, as you mentioned, begins October 3rd and ends October 9th. Last year, we created this first week, and it attracted over 90,000 participants in a matter of 1 week to 22 different events. Again, film, art, music, dance. And this year, we added even more. We added comedy, we added literature, and we are adding youth, which I think is essential to kind of attract them and to make sure they're part of the culture and the experience that New York has to give as well. So
share with us a little bit about the events that will be taking place throughout the course of the week, because obviously, as you said, a busy week, and you've got, hopefully about, 90,000 people, if not then more, participating in these events. What are some of the things that people can be able to grab hold to during this week?
Absolutely. We have everything available on the website, which is www.nyc.gov/LMEW, or they can Google Latin Media and Entertainment Week. The events are cultural. Some are open and free to the public, so people should take advantage of these great events that are taking place in New York for free. Of course, we all know that these are tough economic times, and we want to balance things out so that people can take advantage of them. We also have some business conferences so that we are attracting the CEOs, the executives, which are going to be taking place, and of course we'll be having a reception. Part of the whole week is to attract everyone. It's not just the business component, but it's to allow New Yorkers to enjoy great events during a week that is happening during Hispanic Heritage Month. And we conclude that week with the Hispanic Day Parade, which attracts about 1 million people to Fifth Avenue. And of course, I'll be there marching and interviewing with people. So there's something in there for everyone to enjoy. And in the greatest city in the world, why waste the opportunity? So join us during the week because it's going to be very exciting.
When you talk about being here in New York, it is the media capital of the world. What has been the response with those other media entities? Because obviously there's been a connection too with other media entities and making them aware and things of that nature. Are you finding that there are some people who just aren't aware of the power and the presence of the Latin community in the way that it should be actually represented?
In fact, we just released for the first time the commission, which is made up of 40 members, and 30 of them are private sector individuals, CEOs from the major networks and other magazines as well. We just released a fact pack, which contains information about New York City, that a lot of people do not know that New York City has the largest campus in the United States of America. We're talking about young people going to colleges and universities. We have the largest campus in the country, number one. We have 42 Fortune 500 companies here. Obviously, the networks are here. The financial sector has shifted, but it's still New York is considered number one for business in the world. A segue to that is that we also integrated the 2010 census information. Obviously, there has been a dramatic demographic change in the city, and that's important. Certain groups are growing. The Dominican population has grown, but more interestingly, the Mexican population has nearly doubled in size from 10 years. And I predict that 10 years from now, they could be the number one group in New York, meaning as in terms of numbers, because of the growth that is taking place so accelerated in a short period of time. Also, New York City has the largest number of Hispanic-owned businesses. This is key information. New York City has the largest number of Hispanic-owned businesses and sales from those businesses than any other city in the United States. Media is finding this information extremely valuable. Corporations will be looking at this information because the dollars are here. Although New York City is number 2 in buying power, right behind LA, what it shows is the potential opportunities, because within 10 years we can be number 1 in buying power. That's a lot of money for consumption, for television, for buying houses. Hopefully the economy will bounce back and people will be able to get back on track. It's going to take a little time to get there, but we'll certainly are working to make sure that we create the conditions for not only the culture, but the business component, and for people to really have great opportunities in this wonderful city.
Well, we wish you all the best. We encourage people to be a part of Latin Media and Entertainment Week taking place, and we want you to know it's from October the 3rd to 9th. And Carlos, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us here, and good to have you here on Open.
Thank you for having me on the show.
All